Okay, it is officially May. April is over, so I'm about to do my April recap. Just out enjoying the good weather, getting some sun. And this one, I really wanted to talk about 3 lessons I learned, and I wanted to change up the format a bit, so that's why I'm doing it just with the DJI, just handheld, enjoying the weather, all that stuff. But basically, the 3 things I really want to hit on is kind of going back to the basics, turning my month around. So after kind of a bad month, really turning it around at the end and making it actually one of the best months I've ever had, and then losing something sentimental. So going back to the basics, I can't remember if I mentioned this in the March recap, but I felt like I was going in too many different directions, and I needed to really hone in on what my offering was for PJ Media, what my packages were, my pricing structure, and just get a real concrete offering to give to people on a sales call or to send in a proposal and all that stuff. Before that, I was really all over the place. I would have kind of my basic offering, and then I would go, and then we can do something custom, which seems good in theory, but people want to be told what to do. People want to have options, options that they know other people are already using and having success with. So big thing there was I went back to 4 flagship packages. A more basic one, a middle tier, which has now become the most popular, a more pro tier, and then kind of a very advanced that I call the Blue Lobster, because obviously my logo is a blue lobster, just to be fun. Essentially now I have the starter, the builder, the authority, and the Blue Lobster. The Blue Lobster is really for that like top echelon content creator who is doing long form, multiple short forms per day, sometimes per week, at least posting once a day. Somebody who's really taking content creation seriously and wants to really take it to the next level to promote their business or create a culture for their brand, all that stuff. Really high level personal branding or company branding. The other ones are more, I don't want to say all beginner, but are more for like the average company out there, the restaurant, the realtor. That's where they would kind of fall into in one of the 3 main packages outside of the Blue Lobster. So that would be the starter, the builder, and the authority. This kind of ties in now to the next point, which was turning my month around. So I was having honestly a bad month. I don't know if it had to do with the weather, because we had kind of a late winter. The spring was very cold. The warm weather wasn't coming. Now it's finally here. People started coming out and really wanting to talk shop, talk business, and kind of move their business forward. But by mid-April, all of a sudden 1 week I turned everything around. I closed 2 clients at a pretty big monthly package, actually the biggest I've ever had, and I closed 2 of them in 1 week. And then I also got 2 more leads. One of them is still pending, and one of them closed for just like a one-time shoot. And already got a great testimonial, and that job's already done. It was very quick and easy and relatively good money for the time. So what did I learn from that? It's never over. What's the old saying? It's not over till the fat lady sings. I was like, this month is a write-off. It was, some clients were stopping service or whatever, and then all of a sudden I turned it around just like that, just by being consistent, going back to the basics and really getting concrete on what my offering was, and then doubling down on content and organic traffic for leads. One of those clients that was one of 2 of the biggest packages that I've ever closed came in through Instagram. They literally, we followed each other. They saw one of my videos. They went through my website, through Instagram to my website, and then a call on my Calendly. So all automated on my end, other than making the content, obviously. Then I hopped on the Zoom call with them and closed them. And it's going to be a really fun client. So that was one big lesson that I learned that I think was really important, and also changed my perspective on what to prioritize in my business. Structure, very important, which I thought, you hear all these gurus and people, I like the word guru. You hear all these people online, self-proclaimed gurus, I'll say then, who are like, you don't need packages, you don't need this, you do it specific for what that person needs through asking them questions. Structure is always better, and organic content is still king. That video was free. It took me like literally 10 minutes to film at least, and then edit another 15 minutes probably. Posted it, got a high-paying client, high-paying monthly client from it. So it was really awesome. Now the last thing was losing stuff that's sentimental. I think one thing that I wasn't really ready for when growing up and becoming an adult was how things change. I think that's something that people don't really prepare you for. So one, things like a family dog, things like maybe a family vacation that you always do, or stuff like that, you know, holidays, celebrating Christmas, that stuff, a lot of it goes away when you leave adolescence and kind of become an adult, which nobody really prepares you for or talks about. It just kind of happens, and sometimes it feels like the rug's being pulled out from under your feet. What did I learn from that? It just reiterates to me that I have to keep working harder. And I think it just really made me reflect on everything that's going on in my life, my goals, my dreams, how I want to build wealth. I think gone are the days of just getting a job, like a high-paying job even, buying your house, keep upgrading your house till you have your dream home, eventually pay it off, and live in your hometown or live in the city that you want, one place. I think those days are gone. I think it's actually quite hard to do now. You know, things like taxes. We just got the Liberal government in Canada. Taxes are so high. It just feels like it's very hard to get ahead. And so you have to really reframe. And I really have gone back to the drawing board of how I want to build wealth, where I want to build wealth. Do I even want to buy real estate in Canada anymore? Stuff like that. Anyway, that was kind of just a real ramble. Again, I'm just trying to get some good sun. Probably going to burn already because I'm a redhead. Although I do tan pretty well. I just didn't put any sunscreen on, and this is kind of the first time I'm really out in the sun like this. And I'm 20 stories up, so with no blockage. Anyways, hope you can learn something from that. I know this month has been crazy for me, and I'm about to go on a really long trip down in Europe. That's also going to be kind of a sentimental trip, going to really down to my roots. I'm going to Germany and Italy, first time in Italy, and also where my nonno was from. Obviously, I'm German and Italian, so it's the first time I'm going to both at the same time, and the first time I'm going to Italy on its own. So I'm really excited for that, and I think April was a really good month, both for learning, but also for success as well, and building my business and everything. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, that's the April recap. I'm now going to watch the Formula One race and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. Cheers.